Hey folks, today I'm going to show you how to use a simple application like Microsoft Paint to complete a storyboard on your computer. So obviously the first thing you're going to need to do is download your storyboard template. You'll need to access that by going into the storyboard folder, clicking on the storyboard assignment. Now there are two versions of this available to you in this assignment. The first is a blank PDF document. Those of you who are more interested in drawing or doing a physical copy, then you're going to need to download and print off that blank PDF document. But for those of you who would prefer to use an application like Paint or to have something that you can upload into a drawing software program, then you are going to need to click on the icon. It unfortunately doesn't have a label, so you're going to look for the little attached image. If you hover over it, it should say blank storyboard JPEG, and you can click to download that image. So once you have clicked download image, you should see your downloads manager pop up in the bottom of your browser screen. Click on the arrow and then select show in folder. Bet money your file is going to go into your downloads folder. So look for your blank storyboard JPEG file, and then the last item that is listed in that address bar, in that location bar, that's the folder that it's living in. And like I said, 99 times out of 100, it's going to be in the downloads folder unless you've specifically told it to go somewhere else. Once you know where it's located, then you need to open the application that you want to use. Again, if you're going to use a drawing software, you're kind of on your own because I have never used any kind of drawing software other than Microsoft Paint. What I'm showing you is good old-fashioned Microsoft Paint today. So you need to find that application and open it in your computer. Once you have opened your program, again, I'm using Paint, you need to import the image file that you're going to work with. So in good old-fashioned Paint, the top left-hand corner has an icon for paste. And if you click on the drop-down, you can select paste from. And then you can go find the file that you want to use. As long as it's an image file like a JPEG or a PNG file, then it should be pretty easy to find where it's located and then select it and hit open. When you do that, it's going to import directly into the program and then allow you to paint on top of that image. So I've zoomed in on the top left-hand corner of my image, and now I'm going to start adding some things on top of it. I'm going to begin by using the text button, which is the letter A. I click on that, it lets me type. And I can use that to put text on this image. So I'll title this class project. I'll say that I'm working on script pages 3 to 5. I'm making this up as we go. Do not worry about scene number or shot number right now. We'll take care of that once we've got everybody's completed storyboards. But you do need to keep adding text to remind yourself of what each shot is supposed to look like. So I would very much like it, in fact, I'm going to require that for every storyboard frame, you tell me the framing, the angle, the position, and any movement that might be happening, okay? If the camera is a standard, it's holding still, then you don't have to worry about adding movement, but tell me those 4 things. What's the framing? What's the angle? What's the position? And how is the camera moving? Once you've got that information listed below the frame, then you're going to use your tools like your shapes or your colors to draw in something that symbolizes what we're looking at. For this first frame, I've decided I'm going to do an establishing shot of a basketball court that's going to be panning from left to right. This is also going to be a high angle shot. I haven't included that in the text yet, but I'm going to a little later. You'll see that added as we move forward. And all I'm doing is I'm going up to the different tools and clicking around, finding what I think I need, and then trying it out. I didn't want the full circle, it turned out, so I grabbed the eraser and I erased some of them. I would like some arrows to remind myself which direction the camera is going to move. So I'm going to grab one of the arrows and just draw that in. Honestly, I could spend all day long explaining what each and every button in Paint does, but the fact of the matter is it's a pretty intuitive program. It's ridiculously user-friendly. So if you click on a button and think, this looks like a star, I bet it'll let me drag out a star shape. It probably will. Again, make sure that you are including all 4 elements: framing, movement, angle, position. So our framing on this next one, for example, is going to be a long shot of Alex dribbling up the court. And then I would need to add those other things. I think I skipped it for this example purpose, but because I wanted to show you some difference. So that first frame was an establishing shot. The second one is going to be a long shot. So I'm going to grab some tools so that you can see what a long shot looks like in a storyboard frame as opposed to an establishing shot. I'm clicking around to some different shapes. This is going to be a long shot of Alex, so we need to see his entire body. So I'm using a circle for his head, a square shape for his neck and his body. And then I'm going to grab one of my personal favorite tools, the squiggle line. I do want to point this one out to you particular because it's going to make life easy if you want to draw things that aren't straight lines. So the way it works is you draw in a straight line and then grab the line in the middle with your mouse and then move to make a curve the way you want it. So I want Alex to have one arm with an elbow up in the back, one arm with an elbow down below. I want his knees bent to look like he's running. So I draw those lines and then I drag them in the middle to create the bend the way I want those bends. Sometimes it's a little bit finicky and likes to stick, so you might need to click around to make it let go. I'm going to use that same shape to create the idea of those lines on a basketball too. Pretty self-explanatory. Honestly, that's the great thing about a simple old school program like this. It's really intuitive. Here, I'm going to do a standard medium frame shot of Alex performing a layup. And here I have screwed up his mouth. I was going to try to make him smile, but I messed up. So we are going to use our old friend Control Z instead of hunting for an undo button or dragging out the eraser. Use Control and then the letter Z at the same time to undo mistakes. If you want to change the color of a line, all you have to do is go click on the color you want and then start drawing with whatever shapes that you are going to use in that color. So here, this is going to be a close-up shot, nothing but net. The basketball is going to be dropping into the basketball net and I want it to be orange. So I'm changing my basketball to orange. Here, I've got a 3 shot of 3 of our teammates giving Alex a high five. Again, you would want all 4 elements represented in the notes. I, for the purposes of showing you what different shots would look like, didn't do that, but you need to have all 4 elements in your notes. When you're done, you've got a storyboard. Does it look like professional art? It does not. Do I understand as the camera woman what my director wants each shot to look like, how they want it framed and positioned? Yes, I do. And that's the part that actually matters. So once you're done with your storyboarding, you need to save each file. You may have more than 1 page of storyboards, but you're going to need to save each file using our conventional naming format. Save it in your theater class folder and get ready to submit those to this assignment. If you have more than one, make sure you number them. So storyboard 1, storyboard 2, storyboard 3, however many it's going to take for you to get all of the shots you need in your storyboard. And that's how to use a simple program to do this on your computer.